Hello again, this is the Craps Coach. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me, and as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you like. And if you want to be alerted to new content, make sure you subscribe. This is going to be a video in a series I'm going to call Craps Basics. What we're going to talk about today is the pass line bet and the don't pass bet. But in order to understand craps, we need to understand first some basics. Craps is played with two six-sided dice. When you have two six-sided dice, as you can see from the image, the first column, you can make the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The second column you'll see are the number of combinations to make each number. And the third column is the number of ways to roll that number. For example, 2, there's only one way to make a 2, a 1 and a 1. A 3, on the other hand, you can make a 3 with a 1 and a 2, or a 2 and a 1. So there's two ways to make that. When you add up the number of ways to make each number, you come up with 36 different combinations. We can see on the image that the 7 can be made the most way. This distribution is like a bell curve centered about the 7. And all the odds that are derived in craps are from the number of combinations to make a particular number compared to the number of ways to make a 7. We'll talk about house odds, true odds in another video. This video is to explain the basics of craps, meaning the pass line bet and the don't pass bet. As you can see from this layout, this is a typical layout. It's one side of the table. Pass line bet is in white, kind of covers this whole area. It's enough to include up to 8 people on one side of the table. The pass line bet is kind of associated with the puck. So this is referred to as a puck. It either says off or on, and it depends on what it says is where we're at in the cycle of the game. So when you are a shooter and the dice get passed to you, in order to shoot the dice, you do have to make at least a pass line bet. In this case, I'm going to assume this is a $5 table. One red chip, it represents 5. So I've got my pass line bet down. This pass line bet is the only contract bet, meaning once it's placed, it has to play to its conclusion. So you can see from the image now on the pass line bet, when the puck says off, it's referred to as the come out roll. So 7 or 11 wins, 2, 3, or 12 loses. The remaining numbers, which are here, simply establish the point. So when you're a shooter, they're going to pass 5 dice to you. Your job is to grab 2 of them and then roll. So on the come out roll, the puck says off, so this is the come out roll. And looking at the image, we see that a 7 or 11 wins, a 2, 3, or 12 loses the pass line bet, and the remaining numbers simply establish the point. And the payoff here on the pass line bet is 1 to 1. You can see on the image what the house edge is actually very small. So we'll see this is a come out roll. We have an 11. So that would be a pass line winner. You would win 1 to 1 or $5. This represents right here is my bankroll, and this represents, I will put in here my winnings so we can kind of keep track of my winnings. So you did not establish a point, so you're still coming out. The puck did not move, so this is still, the second roll here is still referred to as the come out roll. So here we come out. 5. So now the puck moves to 5. And now you can see from the image, this is the whole object of the game of craps, is this cycle. You establish a point. Now your object is to make the point prior to rolling a 7. So if you roll the point again, a 5 in this case, you will win the pass line bet and it will pay 1-to-1. Any other bet or any other number that is rolled essentially doesn't matter. It will matter when we have other bets, which will be in future videos. But for the sake of simply establishing a point and trying to make the point, we need to roll a 5 before a 7. If we roll a 7, we lose. So this is a roll here. The shooter is trying to make the 5 and avoid the 7. 8. There's no bets. There's no anything on the dice or on the table. So the 8 in this case doesn't matter. So still coming out or a roll. Okay, in this case, the shooter did make the point. He rolled a 5. So the pass line bet pays 1-to-1. The puck will go back off. You can collect your winnings and the cycle is complete. You still retain the dice. You only lose the dice when you 7 out, which is when you do not make the point. So the puck says off, so now you're coming out again. Going back to the first image, 7 or 11 wins the pass line bet, 2, 3, or 12 loses. The remaining numbers establish the point, and you keep rolling. So coming out, 11. In this case, it's a pass line winner. Put that in here. Same shooter, still coming out. 4. Now the point is 4. So again, now we're on this image where the object of the game, once the point is established, is to roll the 4 before rolling the 7. I will say the stickman handles the dice, and usually in between rolls, they will go to the center of the table while everybody makes their bets, and then the dice will be passed to the shooter. Stickman typically says something like dice out. That's the indication that everybody stop their betting, get their hands out of the way to let the shooter roll the dice. So here we go. We're trying to roll the 4 before the 7, and any other number doesn't matter. Let's see. 6. Okay, dice are out. Next roll, 11. In this case, it doesn't matter. Okay, it's another roll, 7. In this case, the shooter 7'd out, meaning they rolled a 7 prior to making the point. The pass line bet now has been lost. The puck then goes to off. The dice, in this case, the shooter will lose the dice control, meaning they will pass to the next shooter, typically in a clockwise order, and we will start the cycle again. So if you want to bet with the shooter, you will then put down a $5 pass line bet. And again, we're coming out. 7 or 11 wins, 2, 3, or 12 loses. The remaining numbers establish the point. Here we go. Coming out. 6. So now, again, the object is to roll the point prior to rolling a 7. Any other number doesn't matter. Here we go. 11, 9, 7 out. That shooter would have lost control of the dice. Your pass line bet would be a loss. The dice would then pass to the next shooter in the rotation and would start the cycle again. So that is essentially the pass line bet. Now let's talk about the don't pass bet. It's a little bit shorter in length. It is colored black typically on the tables. A common term is you're playing the dark sides, because now essentially we are playing the exact opposite of what we were doing with the pass line bet. Meaning, on the come out roll, a 2, 2 or 3 will actually win the bet. A 12, it's bar the 12, meaning push. Bar means push. You push the 12. A 7 or 11 will lose the bet. So let's go a couple times with this. Any other number will establish a point. So let's go with coming out, playing the don't pass. So in this case, 2 or 3 wins. 7 or 11 loses, 12 is a push. 7. In that case, you would have lost your bet. So you have to put it back up. Everybody playing the pass line would have won. So again, it's still coming out. The puck is off. 2 craps. In this case, you would have won your bet. Puck has not moved, so we're still coming out. Same shooter is still coming out. 10. Okay. So now the point is 10. Now the object, or when you win, is if the shooter throws a 7 prior to a 10, you actually now win your don't pass because you did not pass. Again, it was the opposite of the pass line bet. So let's go through here and see what happens. So trying to make it 10, but you would as the bettor would actually want a 7. 11, doesn't matter. 6, 7. In this case, the shooter 7'd out. Because you were playing the don't pass, you actually win. So back to don't pass, just to reinforce it one more time. Now the shooter 7'd out, so now it will be, dice will pass to a new shooter, and that shooter's coming out. If you're playing the don't pass, 2 or 3 wins, 12 is a push, 7 or 11 loses. So again, let's do this, 10, back on the 10. So now the object is, for you to win, is to see a 7 prior to a 10. Those playing the pass line, it's the actually opposite. So what happens here? 4, no, it doesn't affect anything. 5, 7, 7 out. So the shooter would lose the dice, but since you were playing the don't pass, you would actually win 1-1. So again, to summarize, we have the pass line bet and we have the don't pass bet. Pass line bet is probably by far the popular bet because it is playing with the person rolling the dice. The don't pass is you're playing against the person throwing the dice, but it's your choice to play either one. In that short little example, I think I made $15 for that. And that's kind of a quick of some of the craps basics. Again, thanks for joining us and watching. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you like and make sure you subscribe so you're alerted to new content when we produce it. Thanks for watching.